What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Cozy. Welcome back to the Cozy Games channel. If this is your first time here, welcome in. If this is not your first time here, you know what we're about to do here. It's OP13 Imu in the new meta of OP14 now that it's been officially out for a few days now at the time of releasing this video. About a week or so, I would probably say, give or take. And we're just going to dive right into it. We're going to look at the stages. We're going to look at the non-core 2Ks. We're going to look at the core of the deck, followed by some things that are outside of the core that slash help the core. And then, of course, we're going to look at the events. So let's go ahead and hop straight into it with our deck list. All right, and we are back with our deck list here for OP14's Imu list. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at the stages first. It's still going to be the same. We're looking at Empty Throne. We're looking at Marie-Joie. You really don't play anything other than Empty Throne unless you're playing into the Imu mirror. Otherwise, you would just play the Marie-Joie for right now if you were in the mirror. Otherwise, Empty Throne is usually going to be your first main target because of Imu's effect. So like under the rules of the game, we can't include events with a cost of 2 or more, as well as we get to start our game with a Marie-Joie type stage, which would either be Empty Throne or Marie-Joie itself. Ideally, you want to play Empty Throne because it just helps your curve out, it helps you in the late game, everything like that. If it's the mirror, you run the Marie-Joie just because they can get rid of this with an event that they run. Moving outside of the stage, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our 2K counters that we run in the deck that are not essentially like the core of it. These are just more so the 2Ks that we do run. For this particular list, I do run 3 copies of Shirahoshi, which is on Activate Main. We can rest this character, put 2 cards from our trash to the bottom of the deck, and then if our opponent has 6 or more cards in hand, they discard 1 card from their hand. Really good 2K, especially if we mill out some of the things that we are looking for, like a 10 Elders. As the game gets later on, we can recycle our never existed events, our counter events. We can recycle pretty much anything in the deck that we want. And then, of course, the hand manipulation is really, really good for this list as well. Additionally, I do run 3 copies of the Saint Mjolsgard. He's just a 2K on play. If we have 3 or less life cards, we get to add 1 Marie-Joie type stage card with a cost of 1 from our trash. So basically, if we lose out on Marie-Joie some way, shape, or form, and we need to get it back, then we can play Mjolsgard, grab Marie-Joie from trash, and then we get to play the Marie-Joie. Otherwise, he's just a really solid 2K. He is searchable by our non-core / support core type situation. But now we're going to hop straight into the core, which, I mean, most of the deck is going to be 5 Elders related, right? Of course, the most important one that we want to see early and we want to probably see first is 4 copies of Saturn. He is our searcher for the deck in terms of like looking for the 5 Elders and the Gorosei. So basically, if we have 7 or more cards in trash, he can't be removed from the field by effect. Additionally, on play, we get to look at the top 5 cards of our deck, look for a 5 Elders type card amongst them, and then put the rest of the bottom in any order. Just a generic searcher, just something that we want to probably see early on so we can start collecting our pieces. At the end of the day, I feel like this is a toolbox kit, and we kind of just want to see it as we come across. Next up, we run 4 copies of the St. Topman Warcry. He is the blocker, same effect as the Saturn in terms of static, 7 or more cards in trash, can't be removed from the field by effect. He also gains blocker if we have 7 or more cards in trash. His ability is on KO, we just draw 1. Just a generic play, dies, oh cool, I get to draw a card. And hopefully dig further into the deck. Next up, we run our next blocker, which is the 6 cost St. Marcus Mars. Same effect, 7 or more cards in trash, can't be removed from the field by effect. On play, we can trash a card from our hand and we get to KO an opponent's character with a cost of 5 or less. So basically, we get to kind of control the board state a little bit more, especially if they have something pesky that they're not really swinging with. Good example would be like GP Luffy's Sanji Pudding. Would be a good example for Tashigi, the green one that just says, no, I'm not going to let anything die. You would target that with the St. Marcus Mars. Additionally, if ace is tapped out and they played the Marco blocker, you can go ahead and just pop the Marco blocker, let them draw the 2 cards. It's fine because they're going to use it anyway. My advice is not to do that because you're losing resources, but just as an example of what we want to do. Same thing, he's also a blocker, and he's just going to be really good in the late game. He's also really strong in the mid game if you wanted to swing with him and then use like Imu's effect and things like that. Next up, run 4 copies of Noshijuro. If we have 7 or more cards in trash, he can't be removed from the field by effect and also gains rush. When attacking, if we have 10 or more cards in trash, though, we get to target an opponent's character and give it minus 2,000 for the turn. Great game ender, great game closer, just something really strong to see. Ideally, this is your 7th swing. If all things go right with Imu, you can swing 7k 7 times and just be ridiculous on the board and have a ton of counter. We'll get there when we get there towards the end. Lastly, here's another 2K that we run. It is the Saint Jupiter. Same thing, 7 or more cards in trash can't be removed from the field by effect. During my turn, if we have 10 or more cards in trash, all of our 5 Elder cards, including the 10 drop, become a base 7k character. So no Dawn investment, we're swinging 7. It's going to require at least 2 cards if it's a 5k leader, 1 card if it's the 6k leaders, and then, like, of course, just pressure. Jupiter, you really don't swing until you're ready to, like, clear your board and restand everything. So Jupiter is one of those things where I value having it 1 in trash and then using the rest for counter, because I'm going to be able to get the Jupiter back no matter what. And then lastly, of course, we run 4 copies of the 10 drop 5 Elders card. This is a 10 cost 12,000 power character unit. Activate main. If our leader is Imu, we can rest 1 Dawn, trash a card from our hand, and basically bring out as many of the Gorosei individually, so max of 5, to the board just by sacrificing everything we currently have on the board to bring them out from trash. Super strong and just something you want to weave kind of into as the late game hits. I think objectively, Imu has the most consistent late game in the entire game. Like, honestly, it's just super strong and super great to see. You search everything with Saturn. You can save yourself with the Warcurry, with the Mars. You can pressure bodies or pressure life with the Noshijuro. Buff everything with the Saturn. And then, of course, we have the support of, like, Empty Throne, making all of these 3 Dawn, by the way. And then, of course, our 2Ks. And then our additional searcher option in the deck is 4 copies of Shaoria. Just something really good to see when it comes to filtering, when it comes to making sure you're trashing everything, making sure that you can get the pieces you need for this toolbox to really work efficiently. Event-wise, we're at the end now. Of course, you know you got to play 4 copies of Never Existed. This is the card that I was talking about in the mirror that pops the Empty Throne. This is also a great activate main trash. You may rest 1 Dawn card, so for 2 Dawn, you pop a 7 cost stage, or it's a good 4k counter. So we're going to go to 9. We're going to be safe. We're going to be fine, especially in the later game, just to make sure that we're stable, we're able to push for a game, and we're able to win. I run 3 copies of Equilibrium. I think Equilibrium is a really good card. On counter, it's a 3k for our leader only, so do keep that in mind. It does not protect your characters and things like that on board. It is strictly for your leader. But on its activate main, you can rest 5 Dawn cards, so 6 in total. And then if only the characters you have are Celestial Dragon type, we can KO one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, so something just to get rid of a body if we need it. If not, no big deal, it's a great 3k counter. New addition from OP14. This is where the list kind of changes up a little bit. I run 4 copies of Ground Death in this. You can rest 2 Dawn cards on main, so 3 in total. So we can negate the effect of up to one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less during this turn specifically. Additionally, as a counter event, if we have 10 or more cards in our trash, one of our leader or characters get plus 4k. So basically, it's 2 Never Existed in terms of counter power, which is something that we really, really love seeing. And then, of course, our main, pretty much our only trigger. Actually, it is our only trigger in the deck. It's also another search event. It's the 5 Elders are at your service. We look at the top 3. grab a Celestial Dragon or 5 Elders type card, and then we trash the rest. Trigger, do the same thing. So essentially what we're doing is we're looking for the main pieces of the core, getting out the Elders, playing the Elders, and kind of just interacting with the board that way in terms of a late game. So super strong overall. What you'll do is you'll swing everything you want. Use Imu's effect to probably either trash a card from the field, or you can trash a card from your hand just to draw an additional card. Then you drop out your 10 Elder. Then you're going to bring all of this back. Swing with Noshjuro again. So if we had a full board, Imu, underthrown, so 1 Dawn under Imu, swing 7. Saturn swing 7, Carice swing 7, Mars swing 7, Jupiter swing 7, Noshjuro swing 7, -2 something on the board. Use Imu's effect to pop like Saint Saturn, because canonically that is great. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. Use Empty Throne, play the Elder, use the Elder's effect. So for 5 Dawn so far, we've invested 1 for Imu, 3 for Throne, 1 for Elder, 5 Dawn still active. All of this comes back, we search, we can pop, and then we swing another 7, -2 something else. So if it's something on the board that we want to get rid of, we've already swung 7k into this, into something that's like -4k already. So either they're going to give up the counter or they're going to give up the card. And we really didn't invest anything. Leaving 5 Dawn open for the Never Existed, the Equilibrium, and the Ground Deaths, as well as having 2 additional blockers on board that's going to draw us a card on KO anyway. Just a really good late game. But hey, this is my Imu list for OP14. It's going to be super fun to play, and I'm eager to play it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you are enjoying One Piece again now that OP14's out, let me know. If there's anything you would change in this list, tell me. I want to kind of know what people are kind of cooking up here when it comes to Imu. And so if you haven't joined the Discord yet as well, it's in the link in the description below. And I hope to catch you guys in the next upload. Until then, it's your boy Cozy saying peace and love, y'all.